Good morning, 8:19 a.m. PTSD time. Okay, so we have what I feel like is a really interesting tarot reading today. We start off from the universe. We got the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups, the word related to the Seven of Cups is debauch, or emotional indulgence. This card represents a state of emotional depression and moods. Often is a picture of our emotional addictions or indulgences. Whenever we are depressed, it reflects what it is that we will reach for to make ourselves feel better. Whether it's overeating, over shopping, over drinking, smoking, drug usage, or sexual promiscuity. The symbol reflects a tendency to indulge in moods or wallow in negative emotional reactions and responses, or emotional memories of the past. So from the universe, for me, the message is there's still more work to be done in terms of facing those unresolved energies of the past. But of course, if they're unresolved, those energies are of the present. And now is the only time we can ever face any of those things. Now is the only time we can ever do that. So now we can face those things. The universe is suggesting that we face those things that have tended to cause us to feel depressed in the past and reach out for substances or activities as a means of making ourselves feel better rather than resolve the energies of the event that hasn't been completed yet. So the suggestion is complete the event. The events, there may be lots of them. If my experience says anything, there are lots of events. Okay, so the card, so I thought it was interesting that the card from above, and actually I usually use the term the universe. I asked from the universe to give me the card that it would be most useful for us to work with. And that was the card that came in from the universe. And then I asked the earth, Abrahamanad, the soul of the earth. I asked Abrahamanad to gift us the card that would be useful for us to work with. And the card that Abrahamanad gifted us with today was the universe card. And there's something that was associated with Scriabin. So you can fact check this. See if you can find Scriabin on a search engine. The saying is, the universe resounds with the joyful cry, I am. So the universe card is the principle of totality, individuation, and wholeness. Totality, individuation, and wholeness. In the And here's the card for you to look at. Let's see. So I describe it. So in the corners are the bull, Taurus, and then these other figures. That looks like possibly the human figure, and then there's that figure. There might be a bird figure, and then there's this individual hermaphrodite, I think, that is a black and white, so the dark and the light. And anyway, it'll go into a little more, there'll be more words related to that. The dancing figure holds a sickle, returning it back to the original vision or life force symbolized by the Egyptian eye of Horus. And of course, Horus was the child of Isis and Osiris. So the Eastern equivalent to this figure is, and it says Siva. So I'm just guessing that that's different than Shiva. And Siva is also shown dancing in a ring of fire on the head of a dwarfed figure. Christianity holds this symbol as the Virgin Mary who places her foot firmly on the serpent's head and body. And to me, this could be interpreted as holding down the unconscious, the serpent representing, in some perceptions of reality, representing the unconscious. So the unconscious is the serpent recommending we do particular things. So in the Christian tradition, it was eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. In other words, judge creation. And so apparently, the thought form was it took us out of the garden. So it took us out of our relation of oneness into a relation of polarity, polarization, separation from the oneness, fighting between the siblings, one of the siblings killing the other sibling, blah, 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 all of that stuff. And it was the Virgin Mary who placed her foot firmly on the serpent's head and body to keep us from to fully connecting back with the one mind, which is the conscious and the conscious minds are part of the one mind. That's just my interpretation. So regardless of cross-cultural interpretations, this figure is essentially hermaphrodite, and a symbol of balance in the expression of being equally dynamic and magnetic simultaneously. So going out, pulling in. This figure represents the completion and integration of great inner work which has involved unifying polarities, oppositions, and paradoxes within oneself. The universe represents the triumph of negation and the experience of nirvana or union with multiple parts of self. It symbolizes the unity of positive and negative forces both internally and externally, which comes across over and over and over again, whether we're dealing with the Mayan calendar or with the tarot cards. The information is continually similar. As above, so below. As inside is outside. The world that we have created is a symbol of what we're working with inside. So as the outside world and the inside world come more and more into balance and harmony and become more and more one, then what we create continues to be representative of who we are in the world. So that seems plenty. Thank you, Abrahamanad, for reminding us of our connection with the universal principle that we are one. So, from what some people would refer to as the past, but I refer to as ongoing work that we're doing. So what is the work that we have been doing and we will continue to do? And so the work that was really up, that came in as the message, was we're mastering exercise and building new worlds. So the image is of the Prince of Discs riding a chariot pulled by Taurus the bull, which Taurus is about achieving things. And he's got the world in his left hand. He's got some type of staff with the, you could say, the Celtic cross on the top of it, which is the symbol in which I draw the tarot cards when I'm drawing multiple cards. So the Prince of Discs is the architect, the designer, and the builder of new forms. And with steel-like determination, the chariot, he builds new worlds that are beautiful and abundant, flowers and fruits in the golden tapestry, and worlds that are less obstructive and difficult. He is the sportsman who through exercise has mastered the capacity to build and recreate structures, which include reforming the body through exercise. So here is the suggestion to continue to reform the body through exercise, to stay in shape, to walk. I'm not a runner, so I can't suggest running. But if you're kind of working with fight or flight, then running can be, moving that fight or flight energy out. And if you are, more into just the exercise, then you can just be walking, or you can be doing yoga. And there's a variety of things, but it's the mastery of reforming the human body through exercise. The Queen of Discs, so this is the Prince of Discs, is reforming the body through exercise. The Queen of Discs reforms the body through diet. I would suggest both. Just be aware of your nutrition, aware of what your body is calling for you to put into it. And if you're feeling, whether you're feeling good or not, do some exercise. Do some breathing exercises. Just move. Movement is important and it's useful. So then, what we're working with currently is the Two of Wands. So it's not really the past, because the past, present, and future are all just present. But the past, what we have been working with is just keeping the body healthy through this process that we're going through, cleaning things out, keeping our physical body physically exercised, nutritionally fulfilled. Little kitty crying in the background. No, don't know if you can hear on this microphone, but we're almost done. So the Two of Wands is about dominion. It's a symbol of the state of dominion, balance, and integration. Symbol represents optimum balance of energy or the sense of sovereignty or being very comfortable with your domain, which is the root word of dominion. The sense of experiencing harmony and balance within your domain, which is your human body. It's where you live. And you take care of it, you get to live here. You put crappy fuel in your vehicle, it may not run so good. We're going to just stop right there. And interesting enough, what it says that is kind of what this will lead towards. And I would take this with a grain of salt, but I would listen to these words. What we're possibly heading towards could be the Ten of Wands, which is oppression. So on this card, the two Tibetan dorjes, and the dorjes from Tibet are symbols. And I don't know if they're like warlike symbols. They look like they have pointed ends, but I'll look up dorjes one time because they do come up in the wands, the Tibetan dorjes. Two Tibetan dorjes, or the sacred spiritual power objects. There you go. It was answered. I asked the question. It answers it. The two Tibetan dorjes, or the sacred spiritual power objects, are dulled or grayed over to symbolize the state of oppressing oneself. So it's suggesting that in the future, we're going to quit oppressing ourselves. We're going to stop looking at the world as the cause of our feeling of being oppressed. We're going to take responsibility ourselves for feeling the feelings of a sovereign being. Because we feel it inside, the world will represent that outside. But it felt important for this card to give us this information right now. The symbol, or symbolizing the state of oppressing oneself, either through holding back, editing, or rehearsing oneself, or not fully expressing oneself, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically. Not expressing oneself. The astrological aspect on this card is Saturn in Sagittarius. Saturn is the planet of discipline and knowing one's limits and boundaries, as well as being able to set limits and boundaries. There may be a tendency to limit oneself or one's vision, which is represented by the astrological sign of Sagittarius. When you pull this card, it indicates that in the next 10 weeks or the next 10 months, it's important for you to release self-oppression patterns, such as holding yourself back or restricting yourself in any way. And it's interesting that we're between 10 and 11 months left of the spiritual cleansing. And here's a card suggesting to me, and possibly to you, to stop holding yourself back. We keep getting the message, let go of those things that aren't serving us. Just drop them off, drop them off, drop them off. If it's not serving you, let it go. And don't oppress your own vision of the world of possibilities for the world that you and I can create together, because we are one. And it's not even that we have to create it. We may just be in a place of opening up to what is being created and participating in it. And just let it come into our consciousness. Let go of all the thought forms the world has given us, that our parents, teachers, government, blah, 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 have created all these thought forms. And blah, 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 it can never happen. Everybody can't eat. There's too many people. The world's getting warm. The world's getting cold. Blah, blah, blah. All these thought forms. But just like, F that. I got my own world I'm going to focus on. The world that's emerging from both the higher universal realms and the universal realms of the earth, because the universal realms of the earth are connected to the realms above. That's why this whole thing's working out, because they are one. The universe and the earth and the soul of the earth and us are one. All we need to do is pay more attention when we get uncomfortable to realize we can look at our discomfort and we can let go of whatever pain we're feeling. So when I talk about this, I feel this pain in the heart. So if you feel this pain in the heart, then say, okay, I feel this pain in the heart. I'm going to bring this pain up to the surface, realize it's old pain from the past. Whatever stories may come up really make no difference to me. My interest is to separate the emotions, the pain of the past from the story. And when they get far enough apart from each other, right there, we can just let the emotions go. We can let the story go. And as that stuff clears, we become more aware of the bigger vision that's coming to us right now. We're in this together. I support you, you support me. We're supporting each other in this process. I've not personally found it all that easy. If you found it all that easy, let me know what your channel is and how you have made it feel easy. Because I'd like to join you. In every one of my healing sessions, I say, in the gentlest and easiest way possible. And sometimes I have that healing session with a client, and I felt like I just got beat up. I mean, really, it was like Monday, and this is Wednesday. And Monday I did this session with someone that I love dearly. And it didn't seem that bad at the time, but it produced so many changes that I just felt like this for the last 2 days. And today seems like a good day to just let it go. And quit holding on to it. It's just part of changing. Okay, that's it. I hope I did this in a reasonable amount of time, 22 minutes. Oh well. Now let's go.